first topic of today is homeschool. Well, the whole name of today's presentation is Homeschool Your Healthcare. So the probably question that many of you have is, why do we even bring this topic up? What is that homeschooling your healthcare? When you think about how humankind structured its affairs, we have a few areas of human experience that is given to institutions. And most of these areas are education and healthcare, right? Of course we have, well, let's say, we have three areas of human experience. It's physical experience, mental, emotional, and spiritual experience. Who takes care of spiritual experience? What institution? Church, religion. We have an institution to take care of it. Now, some of us start discovering God inside. And even though we do trust church and we do attend church, but yet we take our spiritual experience very personally and want to discover your own God or your own system of beliefs. And this is probably one of the most important things you can do for yourself, is discover what is your spiritual experience and your system of beliefs and who you are. But we still have an institution that takes care of our spiritual needs. Now, our mental needs, our knowledge, we have the system of education. And we trust the system of education with our children, knowing that the system will give them the knowledge that they're supposed to have. But some of us discovering that maybe the system that the state discovered, the state created, it's not the best. Maybe you want your children to have a little different experience. And then you do what? You homeschool your kids. And you know how big this community is, homeschooling? And it's getting more and more popular. And it's not because we don't want our children to socialize with other kids. We just want to make sure that the kids get the knowledge that we know is going to be valuable for them, and do not have bad experiences that may be associated with the institution that exists. So, do you think homeschooling is a good thing? It is a good thing. We take matters of education in our own hands and we take responsibility. It's not easy. It's time consuming. And you're taking responsibility for your kids' future. That's scary. But we still do that because think we will do the better job than anyone else will. And it's actually matters of our kids' life and education. It's our responsibility. It's like we're supposed to take care of it. Well, now let's go for it. Let's look at the physical, or what we think is physical. Healthcare. So why can't we apply what we already know and believe with regards to homeschooling, with education, into healthcare? If we take matters of education in our own hands, why we can't do the same with our healthcare? Who's supposed to be responsible for your healthcare? It's not the government institutions, it's just you, because who else needs your health? Yes, society needs you because you will function and you will be doing good for the society. But in the end of the day, your health is in your own hands and it is your responsibility. See, we are all so used to going out there, and when something is wrong with us, just not even think about it because we have doctors. Doctors will take care of it. Doctors know best. They were taught for many years. They know better. And it's just so sometimes frustrating, especially for us who is a field of self-care, to see how people even having all the equipment, knowing everything, and yet still when something happens, the first impulse is run to the doctor. And they know damn well the doctor will not tell them anything new. They know better. And they have tools to make themselves better. But yet to take, I guess it's a question of responsibility. What do you think? Why people run to the doctor first?
Health insurance.
Health insurance. In the States, absolutely. Health insurance, it's a biggie. In Canada, it's not that much because we kind of live in a society that partially covered, your basic health needs are covered, and yet we still run there. I think, I thought a lot about it, and I actually came to the conclusion that partially because we are lazy, and we have that fear that we are not knowledgeable enough, and we are, you see, doctor is an authority. We kind of know that if doctor has those diplomas on the wall, they know something that we don't. Therefore, how can I, really compete? Maybe I will do something wrong. And maybe doctor knows best. Mentally you may know that it's not the case. But yet this fear still is there. But what if I'm not qualified enough? So fear is a bad advisor, always. So I guess what we are trying to teach with all our system for transformational health is that not that doctors are not needed. Of course they are. Especially surgeons and traumatologists. Of course, if something really serious happens, you need to do that. But 90% of daily healthy needs can be taken care on the level of household by you. And you have tools. Now, you already knew about fusion tools. Most of you already work with the fusion tools. And you know how effective it is. You already know that your body is the best advisor. Your body knows best. Who better than your body knows what to do in the circumstances? Doctor cannot know better because they have to diagnose, and diagnostics always can be wrong. Only your own body is wise enough and has all the knowledge of what needs to be done. So all you need to do is just to trust your body and help your body. And we do that. But we also need some tools because our systems are pretty bad. Let's put it this way. They're pretty bad at this moment. So we need some pretty major help. So we are here to discover what tools can help you to help your body. And what is the wisest investment that you can make in your health that will pay you many, many, many times over and over again in the future. So we, in our search, we discovered certain basics, certain tools, certain techniques, certain even small things that you can do for yourself and your loved ones in order to take care of your daily health needs. And we're giving that knowledge to you, and we want you to share that knowledge with the others, and others can discover something for themselves. Not to compete with a healthcare institution. God forbid. But we really don't want to be institutionalized, right? So let's take care of ourselves. And actually we see it happening over and over again. And we see that actually movement growing. People start thinking more about self-care and start paying attention to what they can do themselves. And partially, I think it's not out of fear, really. It's not out of fear that if they go to mainstream medical system, we can be victims of statistics, and statistics is pretty scary. We know that in 2002, the last research has been done that declared doctors as a third leading cause of death in the States. You all know that, right? And I think since 2002 many things changed. And they didn't change for better, unfortunately. So I guess doctors moving to the second leading cause of death. And doctors, meaning the mistakes, the infections in the hospitals, side effects of prescribed drugs. And that's only statistics that can be traced directly from cause to the effect. And what about the long-term results of the drug use, which cannot be traced? And as we all know, drugs are never safe. There are no safe drugs. There is no way. Even aspirin is not safe. So we don't really see these long-term results. And if we would consider those long-term results, I would guess doctors would come to the first place. They would, get to the first leading cause of death. So that's scary. And we don't want to fall into the statistics. But I think the fear factor is really not the main one when we are talking about shifting our consciousness. I think consciousness level is really shifting, just as humankind is approaching the different epoch, different era, which we are not talking about now, but really the human consciousness is going through major transformation itself. And it's quite a quantum leap we are watching there. We are actually approaching what is called the creative third, when we all realize that cooperation is better than competition, and it's better than we all gather ideas and respect the points of views of each other and compare our experiences and gather our experiences versus arguing what is better, black or white. We just accept that there is black, there is white, and there is all sorts of shades of gray in between. And we look at this all and say, well, it's all has a right to live. And each part can contribute to the whole. So this is cooperation, and we are all shifting to that mindset of cooperation, which is great. But also in that shift, we are discovering that we, as a human being, we are not really alone. We are never alone. We were, I think it was a religion at some point that, and I'm not quite sure about that because I grew up in a society with no religion. I grew up in Soviet Russia, and the atheism was the religion. So no God. It was not really officially prohibited, but it was not favored. So we grew up in a society with no beliefs, religion beliefs. And that wasn't really good. I really don't think it's a good thing. I think it should be a set of certain values that church is giving. It's extremely valuable for our upbringing and for our kids to grow in. But that was just an experience that I had. So to me, we grew up in a society that favored individual, the soul unit that is born into the world alone and will leave this world alone. And only you are responsible for yourself. You can cooperate with others, but really you came into this world alone and you will leave this world alone. That's what essential belief was. It wasn't comfortable belief. I don't want to feel that I'm alone in this world, really. What do you think, guys? It's not comfortable. I much prefer to feel that, well, I'm one with you guys. Well, when in this room we're on the same wavelength. We have our minds working together on the same wavelength. We're working on the same topic. We're brainstorming. I'm a team player. I love brainstorm. So when we have a few people working on the same idea and everyone contributes and something new comes out of it, it's great. It's like energy is wonderful. I love that. And I much prefer to live in the belief that that's how it should be. And actually our entire planet should be a big brainstorming thing, and then everything will be developing so much faster. Now, when I later started studying physics and quantum physics, I discovered that actually it is the case. And we are not alone. We are in essence regulated and informed energy. We are not just physical bodies, because our matter, our physical matter, is nothing more than condensed and informed energy. That's what we are. We are condensed and informed energy. And that's what forms our physical body. And in our far past, when we were in a different form, in different, even not a human form, but in our previous, our evolution, in the beginning of our evolution, we were much larger beings and much more energetic beings. We were not that condensed, and we even could go through the mountains just right through. So we were energy beings more than physical beings. But with evolution, we start to condense our physical body into the shape that we are now. So much smaller now, and we are much more dense. Well, that's one of the one of the theories that that I read about and which resonated with me, really. So in essence, we are energy beings, and our physical form represents that energy which is condensed and which is organized according to a certain informational matrix. So information or word is in the basics of everything. Energy is form on the basis of that informational matrix. It's organized in a certain manner, and then condensed energy creates matter or substance, and that's what we are. If we approach ourselves as energy beings, it means that we're actually all connected, guys. Informationally, energetically, we're all connected. And our energy field extends much further than our physical body. It's measurable, it's even can be viewed, it can be taken, image can be taken of it, and we know that it actually is true. I think people start realizing that, but if this is the case, just imagine how much influence we all have on each other, and how important are interactions that we are having, and words that we pronounce, and thoughts that we have, and emotions that we are giving out and receiving, how all this affects chain of events. Well, the butterfly effect, right? You saw the movie, The Butterfly Effect? And it's the saying that, a butterfly wing can create a hurricane somewhere on the other side of the earth. It is really possible. One shift in one person's thought process can create immeasurable changes on the other side of the earth. So, from that point of view, if we take a look at how important is what we are and what we do and what we even think, then let's approach it responsibly. I mean, we have to take care of what we think or do, really, in order to affect our environment in the best possible way, positively affect our environment. It's our responsibility to keep ourselves healthy. It is our God-given right to be healthy and joyful and happy, and it's also our responsibility. When we realize that, we probably want to find out, okay, how we can do that in the fastest possible way and the easiest possible way, because when we think about healthcare, it's usually, healthcare, I probably need to exercise, I probably need to take all these vitamins, I need to do this and I did, oh God, it's so much like work, right? It shouldn't be that way. It should be, the healthcare should be fun and joyful and not difficult. And DJ will be talking about that tomorrow. So even when you're healing from such a dreadful condition as cancer, healing should be fun and simple. It shouldn't be hard work. It should be simple. And there are ways of making it simple. So we want to find out what are those simple ways there are, right? And how we can make ourselves healthy really quick. But not just make ourselves, how we can stay that way too. So that's probably what we want to find out. But before we go into that, let's go quickly through quite a conceptual part. In order to realize actually what we need to do to stay healthy and to be healthy, we first need to realize who we are. And what we are is a living systems which are semi-open to the outside world. Semi-open means we receive information, substance, energy from the outside world, and we give it out. So we do exchange certain things with outside world, but yet at the same time we stay kind of a closed system that supports the constancy of our internal environment. And constancy of our internal environment is called homeostasis. You know all the physiological constants. When you go for your physical, they check your blood, right? They give you all the figures, your blood pressure, your blood sugar, your lymphocyte counts, many other things, which are supposed to be constant. That is your internal environment. So we do keep the constancy of our internal environment, but we do exchange energy, information, and substance with the outside world. So we kind of closed system, but we kind of open. So we call it semi-open to the outside world. And what we want to achieve and have is a state of harmony between ourselves and the rest of the world. If we do have this state of harmony, we're in the condition of joy. And joy is our God-given right. We have right to be joyful. It's okay to be joyful. It's okay to be happy. And it's okay to enjoy our human body experience. That's, I think, that's my personal view. But I think that's what our body is giving us for, to enjoy it. Some people say we're physical beings having a spiritual experience, right? Others say we're spiritual beings having a physical experience. What do you think we are? Okay, we're all on the same page. I agree. I think we're spiritual beings having a human physical experience. To learn something, apparently. But also, again, one of my favorite movies, City of Angels, right? Angel giving up his eternity to have a human physical experience, and how enjoyable this experience is, even though he is suffering spiritually because of death of his loved one. But yet, he's, biting that pear. He's jumping into that waves. And that experience is a pure joy. So we do have many experiences to enjoy our physical body. So the state of joy is normal. That's okay. Universe is built on systemic principles, so we are systems in the world of systems. And the entire universe is a system. Our solar system is a system, our atom is a system, and universe repeats itself in every part of it. Universe is holographic. Holographic means constant repetition of the same structure or process. So you will see that atom is constructed just the same way as the solar system is. And the size really doesn't matter. It's the same basic structure. It's a nucleus, it's the things running around, it's the energy that connects it all. It's the same basic structure. So principle of similarity you will see everywhere in the universe if you look at the bigger picture. Now, of course, structures of different level of complexity and different sizes are built in hierarchies. They, like some people are on top, some on the second level, some on the bottom. And if you see, you probably can't really see the picture here, but what it means is the one that sits on top actually can hit on the rest. So the lower you are in the hierarchy, the dirtier you are. So sorry, but I just couldn't help to put this picture there. So you naturally want in your hierarchy go kind of up. But no matter where you look around, you will see those hierarchies built around you, and you become a part of it. So if we look at the time, we will see cycles everywhere. All processes in nature are cyclical, meaning they start from zero, they go to the critical top point, and then come back to zero. So it's like a clock, right? 6 o'clock, 12 o'clock, 6 again. So 0, all the way up, and then back to 0. But next 0 will be already on a new quality level. So when system changes, when system goes through one cycle, it already changes. So the next cycle will be on a level up. So really, it's not the same cycle over again. It's a spiral, right? Repeating the cycles, but every time going up the evolutionary ladder. So season changes, right? It's a cycle. Human life is a cycle. But if you look at the human life as a cycle, what is the spiral? What is the spiral with regards to the human life? Death, but then new generation comes in, right? And then new generations comes in and create a new cycle. And if you look at this and remember the principle of miasms or family, you know, the memory that family carries through generations, that's because it's the spiral. It's because with the death of a human being, cycle doesn't stop. It's only your physical body that deteriorates and changes, but your spiritual essence doesn't go. Energy doesn't disappear. It's transformed, but it doesn't disappear. Energy doesn't go anywhere. So it's going to be a new cycle, and cycle after cycle in a family will carry certain knowledge and certain information through. And that's where the theory of miasms came in. So ascending spirals you will see in every evolution of anything and all the processes that we observe. And disease, of course, is a cycle too, right? Which means if it is a cycle and it has a beginning, then logical thing is it should have an end. So not if you're getting a chronic disease, it doesn't mean it's forever with you. It just means you didn't get to the end of it. But it has a natural end. If it had the beginning, it should have an end. And it's our job to make sure that it doesn't end with your life. Right? That it ends somewhere, you just get over it, and that's it. It's gone. It will eventually. Exactly. Well, there is expression. Everyone will die from cancer, but not everyone will live long enough to have their cancer. Kind of pessimistic joke, but something that stuck from me from my medical school years. Anyway, human being. Human being is a system too, but human being is a bit particular system. It's a living system. Living systems are a little different from just systems, because living systems have three main qualities. A living system is always self-controlling. It checks its condition at all times. So all the time it knows what's going on, has all the information, so it's self-checking, self-controlling system. More than that, it's not just controls itself, it also regulates itself. So when it knows something is wrong, the human system has powerful mechanisms of self-regulation in order to put things back in order. So as soon as we fall out of balance, and we do fall out of balance many times, our powerful system of self-control detects that, and our powerful system of self-regulation will be put in place in order to put us back into balance. So we do have those self-regulation or self-regulative mechanisms in order to get us back to the state of balance and health. And it may include even regeneration. So we do have that knowledge. So if we lost some part of our physical body, we should be able to actually grow it back. We should be able to regenerate it. We think there is a limit to it, but I think it's a limit only because our knowledge says it is a limit to it. But theoretically speaking, if we look at things the way we are looking now, we should be able to grow limbs. We should be able to grow hearts, right? Why not? We do have basics for it. We do have stem cells, and research on regeneration, which we'll be talking about a little later, tells us that stem cells can be actually generated in the human body. It's not like we are stuck with a certain amount of stem cells which we'll lose over a period of lifetime. Our body is capable of creating stem cells out of the cells which are already differentiated. For example, red blood cells. It can de-differentiate the red blood cell and make it a stem cell, so it can grow into something else, let's say a brain cell. It is scientific proof that this mechanism is possible. So if this mechanism is possible, it's just not triggered enough in our bodies. And we have to find out how to make it better and how to create conditions that it is happening rather more often, right? And how we can grow our limbs just the same way salamander does. Why not? Should be able to. And now the last quality of a living system, we are self-reproductive. Meaning, to continue the ascending evolutionary spiral, we need to recreate ourselves. And we recreate ourselves in several different ways, because we are not just physical beings. We are also spiritual and mental beings. So we can recreate ourselves physically in our kids, but we also can do what? We can recreate our spiritual experience in our work of art. Or we can recreate ourselves in new theory, or new system, or new business, or whatever. We recreate ourselves in something new that has some imprint of your personality. So self-reproduction actually has much bigger, larger meaning than just simple physical self-reproduction. Now, efficiency of the system depends on the condition of harmony inside the system. So when all subsystems inside the big system work in harmony and in perfect cooperation and in perfect teamwork, we are all good. We are functioning as we should, and we are doing our job as a functional system. Well, functional system means we're supposed to have a certain function that we perform. And in order to perform that function, we need to have all our little subsystems working perfectly. Now, if we do have that, we call it our orchestra. Our body's orchestra plays a symphony of life. Imagine that all our little subsystems inside our big systems are like instruments in an orchestra. And they're different. Like we have tubes, we have violins, and we have saxophones, and we have all these different organs as we have different instruments. They all play different music. They all have different vibrations. They all have different notes to play and their parts to play. And yet, they're so different. But when they play together according to the symphony, they harmonize, they listen to each other, they synchronize, and they create the symphony and the music. That situation, when they all harmonize, it's called coherency or coherence. That state of internal harmony in a system is called the state of coherency. Now, coherency is a very fragile state. It's a perfect kind of state of balance between a perfect order and the chaos. Well, chaos we understand. Chaos when no one listens to each other, everyone plays whatever they want, and there is no music whatsoever, we understand that. That's not good. But what about perfect order? Why perfect order is not good? Stagnant. Absolutely. It's just monotone. It's just all does the same thing. It's like marching soldiers. Imagine like soldiers are one. They all look alike. They all do the same. There is no symphony there. March, yeah, but not symphony. Symphonies only can be created when everyone is individual and everyone is different, and yet everyone is harmonized, synchronized. And you know how the choir sings? When you have different voices, right? But when they get together, then you create this beautiful sound. You got that, guys, notion what the coherency is? That's our body. That's how our internal organs should be. Each cell in our body, each molecule in our body has its own signature vibrations. And when these vibrations are harmonized and synchronized, then we are healthy. The most incoherent state of all in human body is what? What do you think?